Alright, so for today's deck list, I'm going to showcase a deck that hasn't been getting a lot of tops in the recent tournaments, but it's still a fun deck to play, and that's going to be red and green Zeon. So you can still get some good wins out of this, but right now other colors just have better tools, and this deck is more of a rush deck. It's focused on trying to close out game as fast as possible. This is just something to start yourself off with, so you have a basic deck list and then you build and adjust from there based on your playstyle. But we're going to start off with our level 2s. So we got Zaku 2, playing 4 of those. It's a 1 cost and 1 attack, 2 HP. When attacking, this unit will gain 2 attack during the turn. Really good for taking out bases early, taking out your opponent's early blockers. Zaku 2 just has the aggression that you really need in a deck that doesn't have too many tools. There is another 1-drop. It's a level 1 DOP. I'll go ahead and put it up on the screen. It's not that strong, and you look at the top card of your deck and you can decide to put it on top or bottom. If there were more draw power cards, this would be amazing, but right now it's the aggression from the Zaku 2 is a little bit better. And then we play 4 Zaku 1 Sniper type. I'll just call this Sniper. It is a 2 cost, 0 attack, 1 HP. It does have a link requirement of Zeon trait, which will, we do play Zeon pilots. So late game, if you want to just drop this with the Zeon pilot to swing for game, you can always do that. But with this, it has activate during your main phase, support 1, which support is rest the unit, and then one other friendly unit will gain that specified attack during this turn. In this case, 1 attack. So that's pretty cool. You'll find that a lot of your units are just like 1 off from being able to take out your opponent's bigger bodies. So the support 1 does come up quite often. And then if you have multiple snipers on the field, 1 sniper can give support 1 to the other sniper, so the other sniper can actually attack the shields. And then when deployed, look at the top card of your deck. If this is a Zeon or Neo Zeon unit card, you may reveal it and add it to your hand. Return any remaining cards to the bottom of the deck. Yeah, so it has to be a unit. That's the biggest downfall of this. To maximize the benefit we get from this, we're going to play mostly units. And we're going to play as few commanders, pilots, bases, and non-Zeon cards as possible. Let's see here. And then, so those are the only level 2s. On level 3s, we're playing for Char Zaku 2. It's a 2 cost, 3 attack, 2 HP with the link requirement of Char Aznable. And this effect is another one of your searchers, but in this case, it's when it's destroyed. You look at the top 3 cards of your deck. You may reveal 1 Zeon or Neo Zeon unit among them and add it to your hand. And then return the remaining cards to the bottom of your deck randomly, or in a random order. So again, it's looking for units. We're maximizing the amount of units that we have. This is one of those cards where you're not trying actively to get it destroyed. You're really hoping that your opponent destroys it during their turn. So that way you can have something, some follow-up plays on your next turn. And then we're also playing 4 Char Zaku 2. This is another 2 cost, 3 attack, 2 HP. And this does have a link requirement of Char Aznable as well. So for reference, I usually refer to this Char Zaku as a set 1 Zaku, and the previous one as starter deck Zaku. But they're both really good cards that link with Char and get additional attack and swings, and they have when destroyed effects. This one is going to be while it's paired, so meaning that it could either be with Char, it could be with any other pilot, and when it's destroyed, so it has to be paired and then destroyed. Deploy 1 rested Char Zaku 2 token, attack 3, 1 HP. Both these units, you're really just swinging into your opponent's shields, and you're hoping your opponent figures out that the longer they leave these things on the field, the more dangerous it becomes to them, so they attack over it, and then you get the benefit off it. In some worst case scenarios, you are swinging at your opponent's bodies because you're strong enough to clash with them, but that's not common. And then we're playing 3 cost Goof. So this is a 2 attack, 3 HP, has a link requirement of Rombo Rao. We don't play Rombo Rao, so you're never really gonna be linking with this. And when deployed, deploy 1 rested Zaku 2 token. It's 1 attack, 1 HP. This card is one of those cards that when something better comes out, this is what I'm replacing. Right now, though, it's there for the trait and it's there for the extra token. But 1 HP and 1 attack isn't that big, so a lot of times, especially in the meta where you have Perfect Strike, L Strike, this is an easy bounce target as far as your token goes. And then we are playing a little bit of spice here. We're playing 4 Wing Gundam Bird Mode. This is a 3 cost and 2 attack, 2 HP. Has a link trait of Hero Yui. When deployed, play 1 EX resource. And so, even though this is a rush deck, we do have a little bit of a top end that's kind of a higher level. So this is just helping us get to that faster. And then this is going to be the top end for the Char package here. And that's going to be 4 Char's Gelgu. Again, hope I'm saying these names right. So this is a 4 cost, 4 attack, 3 HP. That's a link requirement of Char Aznable. And this is something that you want to play whenever you are finally, when your Zakus have been defeated or... Char ended up in the trash one way or another, because this is a really good effect. And what it does is during your main phase, you can discard 1 Zeon or Neo Zeon unit card. If a pilot is not paired with this unit, choose 1 new type pilot and one new type pilot card that is level 3 or lower from your trash and pair it with this unit. In this deck, the only new type pilot that's level 3 or lower is going to be Char. So this takes advantage of once your Zakus are destroyed after being linked with Char, and it takes advantage of leftover Zaku 2s or Goofs that you still have in your hand in the late game. Really, just a good card, especially at the end of game where your hand's looking a little wonky. You have pilots, or you have units that you don't have any use for. You definitely want to see this in your hand. If not 3 of this, you want at least 2 of this in your hand at towards the late game. All right, so those are level 4s. We only play 4 of them. And then we don't play any level 5s, but we are jumping into level 6 with 2 Sinanju. This is a 5 cost, 5 attack, 4 HP with the link requirement of full frontal, which we do play a couple of those in here. So I actually just play this card because I like it. It's not amazing. It's good when it's out there. It's just the fact that it's a level 6. It requires a really expensive pilot or really high level pilot in order to get the most benefit out of it. It's just not an amazing card. But during pair, this unit does gain high maneuver, which this unit can't be blocked, so that's always good, but it has to be paired at least. And then during your turn, when this unit destroys an enemy shield area card with battle damage, choose 1 enemy unit, deal 2 damage to it. So it's good for like doing a little bit of snipe damage to some of your opponent's units, but that's not, especially at level 6, that's not going to be game changing. This is something that if you wanted to make more space, there's other stuff that you could play. But it is a Neo Zeon unit, so if it's just sitting dead in your hand, it's another target for Gelgoog. And then onto the spice of the deck, we are playing 3 Wing Gundam, level 6, 4 cost, 4 attack, 4 HP. Link requirement is Hero Yui. So if you wanted to cut your Sinanju, you can cut 1 for a 4th Wing Gundam and 4th hero, which we'll talk about later. But Wing is just super good in any green deck. Breach 5 allows you to essentially pierce over those bodies that you're swinging over. And this unit can attack active enemy units that are level 4 or lower. And it's just a great card. It's one of those cards that this is really your top end once you get past all your Gelgoog and Char package and stuff like that. And so then we play no level 7s, but we sure do play 2 level 8s, and that's Wing Gundam Zero. So this card you do not mind bottom decking at all. This isn't the win condition of the deck. This is actually just for those matchups where it's important. And Wing Gundam is level 8 cost. You really shouldn't be making it to level 8 that often. You really should be finishing the game before that. But if you're at that point and you need this card, it is actually really good. It does have 5 attack and 7 HP with the link requirement of Hero Yui. And this has high maneuver, meaning it can't be blocked, but when deployed, you deal 3 damage to all units that are level 5 or lower. So it's really good against board spam, and it's really good against token decks as well. And so tokens do count as level 0, so they take damage from this as well. Let's see here, and then that's all the units that we're playing. We're going to move on to the pilots. So we are, of course, playing 4 Char. This is a level 3, 1 cost, +1 attack and +1 HP. Now, when attacking during this turn, this unit will gain attack +1, and if it's a link unit, it gains high maneuver. So high maneuver, again, can't be blocked. That gives, let's see, we play 16 cards that can link with Char, so high maneuver is pretty good with those. You definitely just want to see this in your hand. This is kind of like one of your important pieces of the deck. And then we play 3 Hero Yui. Level 4, 1 cost, +2 attack and +1 HP. But during link, this unit gains attack +1, HP +1. Again, if you wanted to cut the Sinanju, you're just adding a 4th hero and a 4th Wing Gundam. And then Full Frontal is the last pilot we're playing. This is level 6. Level 6 for a pilot is a lot in a deck that's trying to be as fast as possible. So we're only playing 2 Full Frontals, and really, you're just hoping to draw the Frontal and the Sinanju. This is another card. I just really play it because I like the package. If I wanted to play this deck more optimally, I would cut Full Frontal for more Zeon units. But Full Frontal is actually really strong. So it's +2 attack, +2 HP. So that gives almost any of your units enough attack to get over your opponent's bigger bodies. And when paired, you may deploy 1 Zeon or Neo Zeon unit card that is level 4 or lower from your hand. So in the late game, if you only have enough, enough resources to link Full Frontal and you have a Gelgoog in your hand, you can link the Frontal, it'll play the Gelgoog for free, and then hopefully you have another unit in hand to go ahead and use Gelgoog's effect as well. But I could see someone easily cutting this card just for more units. And then, so those are all our pilots. For the base, because we have these searchers, there's cards in this deck that we do not mind bottom decking at all. I decided to play 4 St. Gabriel Institute to help manipulate our deck. And so this is a really early like searcher manipulation card for us. It's level 2, 2 cost, 5 HP. When deployed, add 1 of your shields to your hand, look at the top 2 cards of your deck, return 1 to the top and 1 to the bottom. So if you know that the matchup doesn't require the Wing Gundam Zero, you definitely don't want to draw it and have it just sit there in your hand useless. So that's great for bottom decking zeros that you don't need. If you know that you have way too many bird modes or way too many goofs, or there's just something that you do not want to see, this is great for getting rid of those early. So that's why I like this compared to other bases. I don't like that the other Zeon bases, their effects go if it is your turn only. So if it plays a token or it plays a body, I believe it has to be your turn only, and that's the real downside to those. And then finally, we're playing 3 Close Combat, level 2, 2 cost. Main or during the action step, you can choose 1 enemy unit, deal 2 damage to it. This is another card you don't always mind bottom decking. In the early game, 2 damage is really good. in the late game, 2 damage isn't amazing, especially because you've probably used all your resources during most of your turns. And so the 2 damage is something that you won't get it too often in the action step. But yeah, this is essentially the deck. Again, you can cut some cards here, play more Zeon units so you can get the most out of your snipers and your starter deck Zaku's. But the St. Gabriel's Institute is probably the only one where I feel like that is absolutely needed in a deck like this, so you can manipulate your deck to where you need it. But overall, this deck won't be winning, for example, Worlds or Nationals. But good pilots can probably do well at like a locals or an online event with this deck. And later this week, I'll do a gameplay video, give y'all a rough idea of how the deck's supposed to work. But yeah, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.